What's up, everyone? This is BigPowner, and today I'm going to teach you how to get a guaranteed number percent enemies explode. Um, the number percent enemies explode for percentage of their life mod. It is the rarest mod in the game, and it used to be an absolute bitch to get. Excuse my language. But it really was. Just having it on an item made it worth, a ton of currency. I'm going to have two parts to this video. One part, I'm going to show you how to do it to guaranteed get the mod on it. Second part, I'm going to walk you through how to create an even more insane armor. And then I'm also going to give you an example on, if you don't want to invest as much as I'm investing on the absolutely insane armor, I'm going to give you an example of one that you can create very cheaply that you're not going to need to invest, like 5 to 10 exalts on. So we're going to start off by making this. The trick to this is we need to get physical modifiers onto it. So we're going to use this really common one. It's just a purple tier 1. All these are tier 1s. So this is awesome for you guys. This makes it so that pretty much anyone can go ahead and craft this chest as long as you can get a base. For this base, I'm using an evasion base because I'm planning on destroying this with an Awaker's orb. There are other bases, like if you plan to do it, on an ES character, you're probably going to want to go with the Fall Regalia. Um, I have this one. This is what a finished product looks like, or near finished. I'm just doing life swap for life swap. This is kind of the cheap version. You can basically just craft this with the process that I'm about to give you. So something like what I have right here, this is going to be a very attainable, and when these start at like 10 exalts, and they're not going to be as nice as my finished product, because my finished product, I'm basically just swapping, doing the reroll, trade a life for a life until I hit tier 1. So this is going to be a very nice chest in itself, and this is something you're going to be able to create just by buying the base and then using this process here. So we're going to go ahead and close out of this. We're going to go ahead and use the base that I have. Before you begin this, what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to select the base that you have. You're going to want to go to Path of Building at poedb.com. We'll actually go through the whole process because I want you guys to know exactly how to do this. So you're going to go poedb. We need a Crusader item level 85 base. So if you're planning to use an Awakener orb, one of your two bases is going to have to be, the nice one. But for the Crusader type, it has to be item level 85. Why is it that it has to be item level 85? See here, I'm selecting body armor's dexterity because I'm using a dexterity base. It has to be 85 because the mod that we want is item level 85. So if you don't have an 85 base and you try this, you're never going to hit it because it's not possible to roll the modifier. So then we want to see what else on here is a physical modifier because this is only physical. So we have here physical damage from hits taken as lightning damage. That's one physical modifier. We look here, we have no other physical modifiers. We go up here and we want to see what other physical modifiers we have. We only have one other physical modifiers. It's reflects number physical damage to melee attackers. So this is going to be on the different types. However, on a strength, and this is the reason why you need to actually check this with your base, on the strength, we also have this number percent additional physical damage reduction. So there's going to be an extra physical modifier if you do it this way. And that's something that you need to be aware of, because what we're going to be doing is we're going to be getting the base to have all of the physical modifiers on there, unless we just get lucky and wind up hitting it. We're going to get all of the physical modifiers on there, and then we're going to guaranteed slam on the number percent physical damage. So that is what the goal is. So we're going to go back to the dexterity because this is one that I'm actually using. because I plan to destroy this base, I'm going to use an Awakener's Orb, which this will be in the second video where I create the super endgame version that I want to create. Just absolutely crazy version, dual influence. But like I said, you know, the Awakener's Orbs at this point are kind of expensive. We have Awakener's Orbs. They've come down a little bit. 668 Chaos with Exalted Orbs 167. So you're talking about like 4 Exalts right now. So they were like 5. So you know where it's still expensive, but it's not as expensive as it was. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and craft on. We're gonna go ahead and get this to where we want it. So reforge item with new random modifiers, including physical modifiers. Physical modifiers are more common. We want to try and get as many of these on here as possible. So at this point right here, I only have 1. I'd like to get 2 if I can. Okay, so here we have the physical reflect and the lightning. So now we're at a point where we have the only 2 other physical modifiers on here. So now we can guaranteed put the explodes on here. What we're going to do is remove, we can use this one right here, remove a random, oh wait, no. I need remove random non-physical. Okay. So we have this one right here. Why is it that I need to use this one? So if there was an open prefix, I could do augment physical, or if there was another modifier on there that wasn't physical, then I could use the augment if there was an open prefix, because remember the explodes mod is a prefix. So at this point, I can just do the remove non-physical, add a new physical, which this is going to guarantee that I get it, because I have the only 2 other physical modifiers. I have a prefix of life, so it's going to take off the life and it's going to give me the explode mod. Okay, so now I've got the explode mod on there. If this was something that I wanted to keep, this is what we would wind up doing. Say like I don't want the number % of physical damage from hits taken as lightning. Then what I could do is I could go and use another tier 1 mod that removes a lightning modifier. This would get it down to the point where, you know, I'd only have 3 modifiers on it. I would have physical damage to melee attackers, the kill enemies explode for 3% of their life, and then I would have an open prefix I could craft on life, and then I could do the life for life swap. If you don't want to have the physical damage to melee attackers, the only options we have is we can either go with an annulment orb, which is, you know, it could remove anything, which if you don't like anything that's on there, then that's going to be an option. The other thing that we can do is we can narrow it down a little bit by going to our beast crafting. And we can, of course, first we would want to remove that lightning modifier, because then we'd have a 50-50 shot in doing what I'm talking about. We would do add a suffix, remove a random prefix. So after we use the remove a lightning modifier, because the physical damage from hits taken as lightning damage, that's lightning and physical. So we can guaranteed remove that. So we'd have 1 open prefix. So at this point, you know, if I really don't want that physical damage to melee attackers on there, this would give me a 50-50 shot once I remove that. Of course, it's a 50-50 shot, but it's pretty easy to craft on the enemy's explode. So if you're looking for a really endgame type chest, this is something you might want to consider. If you're going to be happy with just having, you know, a life craft on there and still having the physical damage reflect, then you could leave it as it is. If you're planning to go to do what it is that I'm planning to do, which what I'm planning to do is I'm planning to take and destroy this with the Awakener's Orb and put the enemies you kill explode for 3% of their life as physical damage, then you need to isolate that. So the number % damage from hits taken as lightning is another Crusader modifier, so we need to remove that. So that's going to be a case where if you're going to be Awaken orbiting it, you're definitely going to have to do that, because you don't want a 50-50 shot on Awakener's orb and then be in a position where you have a dual mod item that then you're trying to hit the explode and then isolate it and then get the other mod that you want, which the one that I'm going to be making, you're not going to get retries. So it's going to be 100%. You have to slam it right the first time. But anyways, we'll go ahead and look at the finished version of an item like this and what it was that I did with it. So I'm not going to create another one of these, but I will tell you exactly what it was that I did. I isolated the kill explodes, and I have the number percent of physical damage from hits taken as lightning. I crafted on life, and then I did remove a life modifier, add a life modifier, which put me with a crafted on life. I wanted the chance to gain a power charge on critical strike, so I augmented it with add a critical modifier, because on the strength base for only a Crusader modifier, it's guaranteed to put it on, which you can figure out all this stuff once again by going to our POEDB. I forgot I put this on my other screen. Alright, so here we go. Oh, oopsies, wrong one. This is the one. Okay, so the only critical modifier on the Crusader base is the chance to gain a power charge on critical strike, and there's only tier 1. So if you have an open suffix, you can guaranteed get this with a augment with critical modifier. So that's really awesome. You know, that guarantees that slot for us that we can get that if we want it, because there's no other crit modifier. This is, we can look at the strength one. There's no difference as far as the crit modifiers. So if you're going for an end game base on this, then you need to make sure that you go through all these steps, because you don't want to make a mistake. But I'm, telling you how it is that I created the single influence one that I made, and now it's at a place where all I have to do is just keep re-rolling the life, which make sure that you do remove a life modifier, add a life modifier, because you don't want to accidentally, removing a non-life modifier and, ruining the item. So really make sure that you're paying attention to what it is that you're add removing. We could wind up doing something. There is a mod on one of the higher ones. It's like prefixes cannot be changed, reroll suffixes. That would be a good thing if you wind up with all crap on the bottom and it's not stuff that you can guaranteed remove. Most of the stuff you can guaranteed remove. So you shouldn't really need to do that, because then you're also getting a random roll. It's better to guaranteed remove something and then guaranteed add what it is that you want. This is how I chose to build mine. I decided to leave the physical damage reduction on there. I could have wound up doing that reroll scenario, because we don't want to do a remove a physical, because if we do a remove a physical, then we're possibly going to remove our explode, then we have to start back over. So that is how you get it to this point. And at this point, all I have to do is, like I said, do remove life. I mean, my last roll at it, because I'm going for tier 1, I got a tier 13, which I think is like the lowest or close to the lowest you can possibly hit. Anyways, I really wanted to get this video out so that people could know how to make these, because I know that this type of chest in pretty much every single other league is just unattainable for players. But this way, every player, if they're able to just get the base, which, the bases aren't that expensive. If you go for like an astral plate, it's probably going to cost you an exalt or two, because it's the most popular. Same thing probably with a Vol Regalia. But I think that that's a lot more attainable, because that's going to be all of your cost besides socketing and linking, which socketing, we can get 6 sockets through seed crafting, and then linking, I haven't seen the 6 link yet, but, I've got the video on how to take it from a 5 link and, get basically non-risk chances to try to make it into a 6 link. I'll just wind up buying a bunch of fusings, because I'm not holding my breath for a, for the 6 link modifier. The thing that I will say is to increase your chances of getting a 6 link. It doesn't guarantee it, but it gives you a higher chance. get quality on there. The higher the quality, the higher chance you have of actually getting the sixth link. Anyways, I hope that this is helpful. Thank you for watching. Peace. And look out for part 2 if you want to see a crazy chest. Later, Ben.